Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of International Institute of Lifestyle Management. We are extremely sorry for the delay. We also welcome our super speaker today, Shri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant AMFI, to our today's webinar on financial empowerment through wealth creation organized by International Institute of Lifestyle Management in collaboration with AMFI, which is Association of Mutual Funds in India. I hope I am audible. Mr. Sabzar, could you please confirm if I am audible or not?
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible, ma'am. Please continue.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, today's welcome speech was supposed to be given by Dr. Suresh Kumar Agarwal, who's the director of International Institute of Lifestyle Management, but he is not here today. Still, I'm very happy to let all of you know that he has been blessed by a granddaughter today, which is why he is really busy with his family. He's there with his family, but at the same time I got 5 minutes with him, and I could let know his views, which he was supposed to be letting all of you know. So I cannot convey the welcome speech as he wanted to give, but at least I can let all of you know his views on today's webinar. Now, as laymen, when we talk about finance, what we understand is money. Now, money, with money, what can we do? We earn money, we spend money, and we invest money. But earning money from money, when we earn money, using money is an art. And that is something which we'll talk about today. When we use money, we spend it on our basic needs, we spend it on our basic comfort and luxury. But other than this, we also need to spend money on security, like health insurance, like life insurance. These are also important aspects of life which we need to understand and spend money on. Similarly, we should spend money on prosperity. Now, when we talk about prosperity, we do not mean spending on ourselves only. We also mean giving back to the society. Like, if I am prosper, I must do charity. I must spend the money on people for them to know that I am a prosperous person. Otherwise, what's the use of that money? So, moving on, uh, I would like to request Mr. Sabzar Ahmed to play the message of Mr. Tejinder Singh, Deputy Secretary General of International Organization of Securities Commission, on the occasion of 6th edition of World Investor Week 2022, to understand about today's topic a bit better. Mr. Sabzar Ahmed, could you please play the video?
Greetings to India and its investors from the International Organization of Securities Commission, or IOSCO, of which I am the Deputy Secretary General. IOSCO is the global scientific body for regulating more than 100.
Mr. Sabzar, we cannot see the video. We can only see the folder screen.
1 minute, ma'am. 1 minute, please.
Yeah, okay.
Please wait, ma'am. Ma'am, can you see?
Greetings to India and its investors.
No, still the folder is visible only.
Of which I am the...
I think you'll have to minimize the folder.
1 minute, ma'am.
Greetings to India and its investors from the International Organization of Securities Commission, or IOSCO, of which I am the Deputy Secretary General. IOSCO is the global standard-setting body for regulators in more than 115 countries. Our members together regulate more than 95% of the world's capital markets. I convey my best wishes to India and all participating organizations and jurisdictions for the celebration of the World Investor Week during this October. This year is the 6th edition of IOSCO's annual World Investor Week, and our World Investor Week has two main objectives.
Hello, sir.
Firstly, to disseminate
Hello?
messages on investor education.
Hello?
investor
सर मैं चला रहा हूँ सर, ये तो चल रहा है, आप देखिए
learning opportunities for investors. So IOSCO members
सर, ये थोड़ा सा dear ma'am,
Mr.
there is
Sabzar, we can hear you talking over the
yeah,
phone.
ma'am, actually ma'am, I 1 minute ma'am, I'll share one more time ma'am.
greetings to India and its investors from the International Organization of Securities.
Can you see
Yes,
ma'am?
we can see. Yes, it's absolutely correct. Thank you.
IOSCO is the global standard-setting body for regulators in more than 115 countries. Our members together regulate more than 95% of the world's capital markets. I convey my best wishes to India and all participating organizations and jurisdictions for the celebration of the World Investor Week during this October. This year is the 6th edition of IOSCO's annual World Investor Week, and our World Investor Week campaign has two main objectives. Firstly, to disseminate key messages on investor education and investor protection, and to foster learning opportunities for investors. So IOSCO members all around the world are carrying out a range of activities as part of this campaign in October. The World Investor Week conducted by IOSCO is delivering key messages in plain language relating to investor resilience, sustainable finance, crypto assets, and frauds and scam prevention to facilitate the understanding by retail investors and by the general public of some basic points regarding these topics. विश्व निवेशक सप्ताह के अवसर पर आप सबको मेरी हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you, Mr. Sabzar. Mr. Tejinder Singh's speech was really informative. Now, to elaborate on today's topic and to give us some views and ideas, I would like to request our eminent speaker, Shri Suryakant Sharma ji, Senior Consultant AMFI, to please take over from here.
Good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Because I couldn't see your name, so I am not able to.
I am Priyanka, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you very much.
Yeah, actually, I should have been apologized that Preeti Sharma, who was supposed to be today's virtual host, even she could not be here due to some personal crisis at home. So things gone a bit messed up at our end. We are really apologetic.
No
But
issue.
thank
no
you so
issue.
much. Thank you
No
so
issue.
much, sir.
It do happen sometimes at personal level. No problem at all. No problem. But the purpose of the program should be served. That is more important.
Exactly, sir.
Thank you very much, my dear participants, and I am thankful to the institution for giving me opportunity to be with all of you, particularly on the occasion of World Investor Week. And you have just heard Dr. Tejinder Singh, the importance of World Investor Week, because it is being celebrated across globe. The purpose of the celebration is to sensitize general public about the importance of their personal finance management, how they can do it in a better way, and whatever they are doing, is it correct or they can do something better. That's the only purpose of celebrating this World Investor Week. And SEBI, which is a very active member of IOSCO, through its stakeholder in the security market, is celebrating this week across India through thousands of programs. And I am also thankful to the institutional authorities for giving me opportunity to be with all of you. Of course, through Priyanka ma'am, through this platform only. But next time, I would be happy to be with you physically as well at the first opportunity. I am basically here to share some basic thoughts about our personal finance management. The topic today given to me is financial empowerment through wealth creation. And Priya ma'am and Mr. I will keep taking your name again and again just to interact through you with all the participants. That's the only purpose. So kindly permit me for that. The topic today is financial empowerment through wealth creation. So first we should understand what is financial empowerment and then understand what is wealth creation. And I will try to make my session as simple as I can. And one more thing I want to share with all of you, that this program is from Association of Mutual Funds in India, AMFI, which is an apex body of mutual fund in India. But my dear participants, this is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual fund. I want to make it very clear to all the participants. Islam Sahab, this is purely an investor awareness program. And since this is an investor awareness program, I will request particularly the students, if they are some here, please take a note of some important points or a new idea or new information which you might get in my session, to note it down and explore those things in detail through websites and Google. And Priyanka ma'am, you will agree with me that nowadays we are flooded with information, and rather everything is available on Google and websites. That is why anybody can ask what is the purpose and need of such programs. Yes, there is a need, my dear friends. Still there is a need, because through these programs, we encourage participants to go deeper into the subjects. That is the purpose of such programs. And I would be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants. They may put their question in the chat box during my session. Priyanka will take care of those questions once my session is over. And after my session is over, we will make the town hall open. Anybody can just ask the question, can just raise the hand and ask the question directly as well. So we were discussing what is financial empowerment and what is wealth creation. My dear participants, as I've just mentioned, I will try to make my session as simple as I can. I would not like to make it as a technical session, because most of the participants may not be interested into the technical aspects of the investment and all these things. They are simply interested how my money can grow, how I can make investment which will be beneficial to me in longer time. So financial empowerment simply means I should have money when I need it. That is financial empowerment in simple words. And what is wealth creation? Wealth creation simply means that my money should also earn money for me, or rather my money should make money for me. And my dear participants, there are two aspects of money which we normally deal with. First is the money which we earn. And the money normally we earn through salary, when we are employees or we are employed somewhere. Then we can also earn money through some business and also from some industry or some entrepreneurship, as well as through some profession. So the first aspect of the money, the first availability of money comes to us through our job or our business or through our profession. That is a very important thing. That is a very important aspect. And what money we earn, maybe through service, maybe through business, or maybe through some profession, what we do with that money? We all know that a majority of our income or salary or whatever you call it, goes into taking care of our regular and monthly expenses. Sometime it may be 80% of your income, sometime it may be even 20%, but generally speaking, more than 50-60% of our salary goes into taking care of our regular expenses. And regular expenses include everything: your groceries, your travel, your EMI, education of kids, and a lot of other things. But still one thing, it is in our blood, particularly I'm talking in the context of India. We all Indians have a typical DNA, my dear participants. We all know it. And that DNA is very unique. And of late, it has been proved that it is the most important thing which we imbibe. And what is that? That is that every Indian family, whether they are earning 10,000 or whether they are earning 10 crore, every Indian family tries to take away some money out of their regular income, which they don't spend. Otherwise, we can spend all the money which we earn, which is the case in the case of European countries and USA. Whatever they earn, they spend it. They enjoy the money. But we Indians don't spend all the money. And that is in our blood. And the money which we don't spend out of our income is, which we call it savings. And saving is the norm in our life. Every Indian, every family try to save as much amount as we can. Of course, it is difficult nowadays, particularly in the context of inflationary tendency and all these things. But still, we always try to save money as much as we can. So we are the best savers in the world. You must also be knowing that Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. But my dear participants, one thing we lack mostly, and that is we do try to save as much money as we can, but we are little bit casual about savings. Casual in the sense that we don't identify an amount of saving which we can comfortably save every month. This month I might have saved 10,000. Next month it might be 12,000. Third month it might be even 8,000, and fourth month may even be 0. Of course, region might be there. Anybody can counter it. Yeah, there are regions. Yes, there are regions. But my context is different. My request is different, in the sense that please identify an amount of saving which you can comfortably save out of your regular income. And this I am leaving it to you. I am not prescribing anything, my dear participant, that you should save 10%, you should save 20%, you should save 30%. No, that is not my cup of tea. What I am requesting is, you please identify, you yourself please identify. Suppose some Priyanka says that her monthly salary is 50,000 a month. Just for example, she says that her monthly salary is 50,000. And then she says that her monthly expenses are around 40,000. That what indirectly she is saying is that she can save 10,000 a month. Then my request is very simple but emphatic. Please do save this amount of 10,000 every month religiously without fail. This is the first request about saving. Please identify an amount of saving and then religiously save that amount without fail. This is the first request I want to make with regard to saving. And second request is other connected thing I am requesting it. Please do keep increasing your saving every year minimum by 10%. Suppose this year you are saving 10,000 a month, then ideally speaking, next year you should save 11,000 a month. And how will it be possible? Yes, it is possible. Because Priyanka, you will agree with me that every year we get increment, we get increase in our salary, D&S allowance we get, some allowances also keep increasing every year. So with the increase of income every year, we must increase our saving every year. Ideally, it should be 10%. These two things are basic to your prosperity, my dear participant. These two things may look damn easy for you. You might even say, what you are talking about, this is a very simple thing, everybody knows. Yes, I know everybody knows, but then everybody doesn't practice it. And my request is to practice it. please do save an amount, identified amount, and keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Now the next question arises, what we do with the savings which we are making every month? What we do, or what we should do? There are two options, my dear participants. One is, and which a foolish person like me can only do. No literate person or intellectual person like you will do it. But there might be a few persons of my category as well. What they are doing, they are saving religiously every month, whatever they have decided. But what foolishly they are doing is, either they are leaving the saving amount in their bank account where they get their salaries. Normally we get salary in a bank account nowadays. Or take out that saving amount, count the currency, feel happy, and keep it in your box at home every month. And religiously they are doing it. My dear participant, if any of you is doing this practice, please stop it at once right from today. Because keeping your savings into your bank account, savings account, or keeping your savings at home in currency is a gross injustice, not only to yourself, but also to your family and our country as a whole. Please don't do it. And if you are doing, please stop it at once. Then naturally you will ask me what to do. Yes, there is another option, my dear participants. And the option is, through a process, we should put our savings into, number one, acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future, and in some financial instrument which will give us periodical and regular return in future. The process of putting your savings into acquisition of some asset or in some finance instrument, my dear participant, it is called investment. So saving is the first step and investment is the second step. And we should never stop at the first step. We must save, but then we must invest the money, invest the saving which we have done. Saving is the first step, investment is the second step for your prosperity. Because without saving, what you will invest? That is very natural. But again, then saving and not investing, it is a foolish thing. That is why I will request all of you, and mostly we are, I will request all of you, kindly not only be a saver, which we all are, but also be investor. Please put your money into in the investment mode. And the purpose of investment is very simple, but very important. My money should also earn money for me. My money should also earn money for me. The money which I have saved, the money which I am investing must earn money for me. That is very important purpose. Because only through investment we are starting our prosperity journey. So my dear participants, please do understand the importance not only of savings, Dr. Jinger, but also of investment. And investment, normally we all do. Dr. Jinger will agree with me that we are all investors as well. Those who are saving mostly are putting their money one or other product. We are all doing it. So we are mostly savers as well as investors. But unfortunately, Dr. Jinger, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. Most of the middle class, salary class person particularly, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, Dr. Jinger, they just remain money accumulators. They don't become wealth creators. I'm using two terms here, money accumulation and wealth creation. And it is an unfortunate aspect of the middle class, salary class person, particularly belonging to my generation. Actually, Dr. Jingar, I know your generation has changed a bit. But my generation, we were mostly money accumulators only. We were not wealth creators. But my dear participant, please do understand, without wealth creation, there will be no prosperity. So you have to be wealth creator. You have necessarily to be wealth creator. And you can be. And wealth creation simply, again, I repeat, means my money is earning money for me. Rather, I will emphasize here that the aspect of earning money by my money becomes very important at the later stage in our life. Of course, we will continue to earn money through salary and all these things. But then my money, earning money, becomes very important in the later stage of life, because that is in very, very important aspect if you want to be if you want to lead a satisfied life. That is why the importance of wealth creation. So first we should understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And Dr. Jinger, if you don't mind, I can take your name. I'm just sharing one simple example with the participants through taking your name. Please permit me. The example is very simple, but through this, I will try to make you understand the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. Suppose Dr. Jinder has got 1 lakh rupees with him, and he goes for a 1-year bank FD, bank fixed deposit, with a good bank. And Dr. Jinder, you will agree with me that the present rate of interest is around 5.5 or take it 6% maximum. So that you are developing a bank FD for 1 year at the rate of 6% interest for 1 year. After 1 year, when I just ask you, Dr. Jindal, what happened to your FD? Naturally, you will feel happy and inform me that my FD has earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest for me, and the bank has given back my money. Am I right, sir? This is a standard thing. Because you have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income, and your money has been given back by the 1 lakh has been given back by the bank, plus 6,000 as bank interest will also been credited to your bank account. And you are happy, and you ought to be happy. But when I ask Dr. Jinder, are you right? Then naturally Dr. Jinder can counter, yes, I'm absolutely right. What is wrong with you asking this question? Dr. Jinder, you are right, but you are not right. Please understand what I am saying now. You are right, but you are not right. You are right in the sense that definitely you earn 6,000 rupees as bank interest on your income, on your bank FD. But Dr. Jinger, you ignore 2 very important factors while analyzing return on your investment, and FD is also an investment, as we all know. And what are these 2 factors? The first and important factor is inflation, mehengai. And every day we talk about the inflation, more so in the present context, because the inflation rate is hovering around 7 or 7.5% even. So inflation is a part of our life. We feel it, we get pinch out of it every day, every month. So what is inflation? My dear participant, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. This is inflation. Prices of the goods, item or services keep increasing every year. So suppose, Dr. Jinger, last time when you were going for bank FD, had you not gone for bank FD and could have made use of purchasing some item, goods or services out of that 1 lakh rupees, can you just tell me, sir, would you be able to get same item, same services, same goods after 1 year from 1 lakh rupees? Would it be possible, sir? We all know it will not be possible. Why? Because of inflation, prices of those items and services have increased. Suppose the inflation rate has been 5% during this 1 year when you had FD. What does it simply means? It simply means that last year, whatever you could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees for the same item, same good services, after 1 year, you will need to pay not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees because the inflation rate has been 5%. So you see the proposition. In reality, out of 6,000 you earn as bank interest on your FD, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Still, Dr. Jinger is happy. He said, no problem, still I have 1,000 rupees with me. Yes, sir, you have. But there is another factor which you must take into account while analyzing return. And the second factor is taxability. Most of the income or return on our investment, government gets income tax or capital gain or whatever it means. And we have to pay income tax and tax as well. And for the bank FD, my dear participants, you might not be aware, but I just want to put this rule straight. Whatever you earn on your bank FD as interest is to be added in your total income of that year. And you have to pay income tax as per your slab. In this scenario, you have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. All 6,000 will be included in your annual income and you will have to pay income tax as per your slab. Because the 10,000 interest deduction allowed under income tax rules is only for your savings bank account, not for your FD. Kindly mind it. It is only for your savings bank account. So on 6,000, you will need to pay income tax as well. And suppose you are in 20% bracket of income tax, then you will have to pay 20% income tax on 6,000. That is 1,200. And now there is no excuse, my dear participants. In my days, most of the people will not pay such income tax, my dear Jinger. They will say, let it be. Who will come from income tax department to collect this income tax? But nowadays, my dear participants, because of technology, all such information is automatically available with the income tax department. And Dr. Amrit, you can't avoid it now. Because you have to pay income tax now. So 20% income tax you will have to pay on 6,000, that is 1,200. Now, my dear participant, you just see, you are very, Dr. Amrit Lal Jinger was very happy when he earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income on his bank FD of 1 lakh rupees for 1 year. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation and 1,200 he has to pay as income tax. Sir, have you got anything balanced with you? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket in reality. And that is the problem with most of the middle class, salary class person. We are happy with what we earn, but that is your notional income, my dear participant. Please do understand. In reality, you got nothing. Suppose I take this example forward and suppose the interest rate is 8% instead of 6%. Then Dr. Jinger will get 8,000 rupees as bank interest income on 1 lakh rupees FD. Again, keeping inflation at 5% out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation. Again, he will have to pay 20% income tax on 8,000. That is 1,600. But there still remain, after inflation and income tax, there still remain 1,400, Dr. Jinger, in the present example of 8% interest. And that 1,400 is your real return. So my dear participant, please do understand very clearly that unless and until you earn some real return on your investment, there will be no possibility of wealth creation. If you don't earn real return, and real return formula is very simple. If some students want to note it down, please do note it down. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, that is 5,000, minus tax liability, if any. In the first example, it was 1,200. In the second example, it was 1,600. So in the first example, there was no real return, rather negative return. But in the second example, there was a real return of 1,400 rupees. And that 1,400 is going to create wealth for you. So if you don't earn any real return on your investments, you are sheer money accumulators. And if you are earning some return on your investments, then you are wealth creators. And I again should not repeat, but without wealth creation, there will be no prosperity. So you have to earn some real return on all your investments. This is very important aspect of the investment, which we all must understand, and particularly young investors like Dr. Amritlal Jinger and other young investors, they should understand that they should make sincere effort for earning some real return on all of their investments. But why most of us are money accumulators? This is a very valid question we should ask to ourselves. Why most of the middle class, salary class person are sheer money accumulators? Why they are not wealth creators? What is the reason? And there has to be some reason, rather deep-rooted reason. Yes, my dear participants, reason is there. And that reason lies in our mind only, not outside somewhere else. The reason lies in our mind, my dear participants. And the reason is that most of the middle class, or particularly salary class person, are by and large very clear. By and large, they don't want to take any risk in investment. That is why we have coined a new term, safe investment. When I reach at this stage of my session, some people may ask in the chat box, sir, tell us something about safe investment, because we are risk averse. We don't want to take risk. And most of us are so firm that they don't want to even listen about the risk aspect of the investment. But my dear participants, I am to request you very clearly that in most of the investment, risk is there. Whether you accept it or not, but risk is there. Yes, risk is there. Risk simply means losing your money or not earning any money on your investment, or earning very marginal money. Because the return is uncertain. And so is the life. Our life is also pretty uncertain. We may live for next 100 years, but are we sure about even tomorrow? Nobody is sure. That is why I keep emphasizing in my session, please honestly accept that in investment, risk is there. Of course, degree of risk will always vary from product to product. In some product, it might be much higher. In some product, it might be moderate. And in some product, it might be even very low risk. But most of the investment, except some governmental small saving scheme, which I will mention in the later part of my session, risk is there in investment. Because once we accept risk is there in the investment, then definitely the second question which will come in our mind is how I can manage my risk. Because if risk is there, then still everybody would like to manage their risk. Everybody would like to minimize their risk. And that is a very valid thing. How we can do it? Yes, my dear participants, we can do it. And I'm just sharing a very two-word small formula for managing your risk, for minimizing your risk. But at the same time, one thing, again, I wish to make it clear. risk can never be zero. Some degree of risk will always be there. It can never be zero in most of the investment products, except because I am not again and repeating, except some governmental small saving scheme, but because they are very small schemes, they will not make you prosper through investment in those schemes. Of course, we should subscribe to those schemes as well. But for creating prosperity, for developing prosperity, we have to go for the investment which have little bit risk. And how we can do it? I am just sharing a very simple 2-word formula. Think, understand and invest. सोच कर, समझ कर, निवेश कर. In Hindi, I have also put it. Think, understand and invest. And my dear participants, I have used 2 words. One is think and second one is understand. The first word is think. What I have to think? I have to think 2 things about myself. The first and foremost thing which I always should understand, think about myself is, what is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take? Because it will depend upon your risk appetite in which product you should invest. And risk appetite simply means that I can bear the losses to that extent. So risk appetite of every individual is different. One more thing I want to make it clear here. Every individual has got different risk appetite. Why? Because their income is different, their obligations are different, their family expenses are different, their social upbringing, everything is different. So we have to make investment strictly as per our risk appetite. And one more factor here is, risk appetite of an individual is not a constant factor. It will not remain same in all your life. No, it will keep changing with the age. When you are young, you can take high risk. Why? Because you have got a longer horizon of 30-40 years still. But when you cross 40 or 45, your risk-taking capacity has become lower relatively as compared to the age when you are 30 or 25. But when you cross 55, your risk appetite has much been lowered. And when you cross 60, get retired, you don't have any risk appetite. You can't take any risk. Because the purpose at that time of investment is very simple: to develop a safe and regular stream of income on our investments for survival. That is why I keep telling, please take your investment decision strictly according to your risk profile and according to your age. Rather, I encourage youngsters, those who are around 25, 30, 35, 40 even, I encourage them to take risk. But risk has to be calculated and it has to be according to your risk appetite. Risk should not be blind. It should be calculated. Calculated in the sense, what is my risk appetite? Beyond that, I should not go. The second aspect which you should think beyond risk appetite is time horizon of investment. That is equally important to understand. First, we should understand our risk appetite. And second, we should think and understand the concept of time horizon of investment. And in time horizon of investment simply means that I will need money in my life, not in one go, not at one time, my dear participants. We will need money in our life for many milestones, rather huge money for every milestone. That is why the importance of time horizon of investment. So we should invest our money in such a manner that I should have money when I need it. And I will need money for a lot of things in my life, for my milestones in my life. And Mr. Krisil, what are the major milestones in our life? Normally middle class, salary class person. First comes marriage. Marriage is the one of the most important milestone in our life. Then second one might be birth of the children celebration. Third one might be purchase or acquisition of a house for the family. That is very natural. Every family wants to have their own house. And fourth one, purchase of a four-wheeler, even when we don't have it. And fifth one might be going on vacation, because Mr. Crystal, you will agree with me, in my times, vacation was not an important aspect in our life. But now every young family, every young person wants to go on vacation regularly, every 3 years, every 5 years, not only in India, but beyond India as well. For that, you will need huge money. And after that, your children are grown up, you will need money, rather substantial money, for their higher education. Then once their education is over, naturally for their marriage also you will need money, rather good money. And last, a very important thing is for leading retirement life. And Mr. Krisil, you will agree with me that nowadays youngsters don't have pension even in government. Of course, in private sector earlier also pension was not there. So what normally people do who don't have pension, they start accumulating money right from the day they start earning for their retirement life. And by the time they retire, they have huge amount, and they ought to have huge amount. They also add the superannuation benefit they get out of their service, and then invest the whole amount of your money in such a manner that develop regular monthly stream of income for you to lead your retirement life. That is the normal course of doing things in retirement life. So for all these things, we need money, rather huge money. From where it will come? Some of us might be very lucky going to Mr. Amitabh Bachchan show, KBC, winning 7.5 crore or 3 crore or 4 or whatever it may be, 1 crore. Or, but then how many of us will win? What about the lakhs of other young people? What they will do? Yes, they have to start saving and investing that saving right from the day they start earning. That's the only option available with you. That is why I again keep emphasizing in my session, please start saving right from the first month when you start earning. Never think that my salary is meager, I don't have much salary. If I save 500 or 1000, what difference it will have? Yes, it will have great difference, my dear participants. Because even a small saving of 500 rupees for a longer period will make it huge. So never ignore or underestimate the importance of even a small saving right from the first month when you start earning. And please do it. And after saving, please keep investing that saving. So we can do it. We can do it. The second thing is time horizon of investment is very, very important. The second word I had used is understand. What we have to understand? We have to understand the product where we are investing. And that is equally important. Because all investment products are good. Nothing is bad in investment. Every product is good, provided it suits my time horizon of investment and my risk appetite. Because some products might have huge risk, which a good number of people can't take. Of course, the huge risk means huge reward as well. So if you can take high risk, you can go for those products. But those who don't have capacity to take high risk, they will not go for that product. They should not go. So there are products according to your risk appetite and according to your time horizon of investment also, because some products will give you return after 10 years. And suppose you need money after 5 years. So the product which will give you return after 10 years may not be good for you. Otherwise, it is a good product. But because of your difference of time horizon, that product might not be suitable for you. That is why please do understand the product with regard to your risk appetite and your time horizon of investment. That is equally important. And for all these things, the better thing is to develop a financial plan for yourself. And developing financial plan is a damn easy thing, my dear participant. It's not a rocket science. Damn easy thing. Just take a pen and paper, make 3 columns on the paper. Make 3 columns on the paper. In the first column, please jot down what are the milestones in your life, right from marriage to retirement life. In the second column, against each milestone, please start putting the period when it is likely to happen. Suppose somebody says that I am not married, but likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years against marriage. Likewise, that 2 years for marriage, then birth of the children around 3.5 years or 4 years. Then 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 35 years for retirement. Keep mentioning the period. And in the last column, just have an idea what money you will need for each milestone. Just a broad idea. Precisely, of course, it will not be possible, but just have broad idea. Then start putting the money which you will need for each milestone. And also factor into inflation. Because suppose today person is of 30 years and he says that my monthly expenses are around 30,000. He is able to manage his monthly expenses with 30,000 today at the age of 30, my dear participant. But when he becomes 60 after 30 years, can you imagine how much money he will need every month for the same standard of living for his or her monthly expenses? It will be not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. That is why inflation also has to be taken care of while analyzing your money requirement in future. And you might not be surprised. I don't have time. Otherwise, I could have given you detailed description that a normal middle class, salary class person who is around 30 today needs not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees for his or her milestone only. I can make out a detailed presentation on it itself, but I don't have time. So from where 10 to 12 crore rupees will come? Some of participants may be very lucky going to KBC winning 7.5 crore, but what about others? How we will have a young person of 30 years today will have 10 to 12 crore in his or her life? Yes, he or she can have 10 to 12 crore in life. I can give him confidence. I can give her confidence. You all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees in your life, provided you start working sincerely right from today on your savings and putting your savings into best investment board. Or you all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees over a period of 30-40 years. And interregnum period also you will have money when you need it. And the chart which we have, I have just mentioned, first column, second column, and third column. It is called financial plan. And my dear participants, I am of the opinion that every individual and every family must have their financial plan. And you can make a financial plan with a damn easy thing. I again repeat, it's not a rocket science. Just sit with your family member, make 3 columns, first column, your milestone, second column, when it's likely to happen, and third column, the money for each milestone. And once a financial plan is in place, you will be a different person altogether. You may not agree with me, or you may not even realize today. Because once financial plan is there, the goals are clear before you. How much money you will need at what time for what purpose. That is why the importance of a financial plan. So I will request all of you, please do develop a financial plan for yourself and for your family, because that will give you a directional approach for having money when you need it. That is the importance of financial plan. And one more thing I want to mention here about investment is rule of compounding. And my dear participant, rule of compounding is eighth wonder of the world. You may not know the importance of rule of compounding, particularly in the context of investment. It is eighth wonder of the world. Please do understand the importance of rule of compounding. And investment, what is rule of compounding? Simply speaking, you have to make a promise with yourself. You have to make a commitment with yourself that whenever I will earn any return on my investment, whenever, and definitely you will earn return or income on your investment when you continue to invest your savings. Whenever and whatever I earn on my investment, I will never use that return or income for my personal consumption, or for that matter, for celebration in family. What I will simply do, I will simply club that return or income with my regular investment, which I am making every month, and reinvest it. And if I do this for next 15, 20 years, and that is a must, I am very clear, you have to do it. There is no option of it. You have to do it. But if you do it for next 15, 20 years, my dear participants, you will be happily surprised that after 15, 20 years, your return portion or your income portion on investment, which will be much bigger than your original investment. But that will be happening not today, not tomorrow, not a year or so. The fruit of rule of compounding will come to you after 15, 20 years. So please do follow rule of compounding in your investment. Have some commitment, have some discipline, that come what may, I will never use my return on my investment for my personal consumption, for celebration, for vacation, or any other thing. I will simply keep reinvesting that amount with my regular investment. That is why the importance of rule of compounding. In the last 15 minutes, now we will discuss about the products available for investment for the middle class, salary class person, because that is equally important. Where we should invest? What are the products available for the middle class, salary class person? The first category of products available for the middle class, salary class person is governmental small saving schemes. Government has got some very good small saving schemes. Of course, may not be extraordinary. You may not be getting extraordinary return, but these schemes are in the right direction for a middle class, salary class person. And you should think of investing some of your money in governmental small saving schemes as well. And the first scheme of the government of India, which I feel personally all middle class, salary class person must have account in, is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. Public Provident Fund Account is a very good scheme of the government of India for the middle class, salary class person. The account of PPF can be opened in any of the branches of the bank, and preferably you should open in the branch where you have your bank account, or in any major big post offices. The scheme is for 15 years. And you can deposit minimum 500 rupees in a year, and maximum limit of deposit in PPF every year is 1.5 lakh only, not beyond that, because beyond that you will not get interest on it. And even today, Government of India gives you 7.10% interest on your deposits every year, which is compounding every year. And the scheme is for 15 years. And whatever you deposit in the PPF account every financial year, you can also avail income tax exemption under Section 80C of the amount which you have deposited. And the beauty of this scheme is there is no tax. It is exempt scheme. Very unique scheme. No tax at all. Or rather, I will encourage all of you to have PPF account not only in your name, but also in the name of your spouse, your kids even. And you should not stop the account after 15 years. You can extend the PPF scheme or PPF account beyond 15 years for another period of 5 years, then 5 years, then 5 years. You should keep in extending the period unless you need money. And two very small things I want to mention about PPF account is try to deposit 1.50 lakhs, which is the maximum limit at the beginning of the financial year every year. And we all know the financial year begins on 1st April. So please try to deposit 1.50 lakhs in your bank account, in your PPF account, maximum by 5th April of every financial year. Because if you do this, you will get the interest for the whole year on the amount which you have deposited, including the earlier amount which you have deposited. But for any reason, if you are not able to deposit 1.50 lakh, which is the maximum limit, then whenever you deposit money in this PPF account, please do make sure that you make a deposit in this account before 5th of the every month. Whenever you make deposit, it should be before 5th of the month. Why? Because if you deposit on 6th or 7th or afterwards, you will not get interest for that month. You will be losing interest. So then why deposit after 6th? Better deposit next month only. This small things will make a difference of thousands of rupees over a period of 15 years or beyond. The second scheme is National Saving Certificate, NSC, where you can invest. I don't have time, so I will just mention the name of the scheme. If you are interested, you can just note down the scheme and get the details from Google and websites. Third one is Kisan Vikas Patra, where you can invest. And these are all governmental scheme. I am still onto the government scheme only. Then fourth one is RBI bonds. RBI keep issuing regularly bonds to the public, taxable bond and tax-free bonds. You can invest some of your money in RBI bonds as well. Then government also keep taking loan from you through selling of their securities. So you can also invest in government securities. And for that purpose, recently RBI has started a new portal, new website. Name of the portal is RBI Retail Central. Please note down the name, go to the portal, go to the website, get the details, get yourself registered, and then start investing a small amount in government securities. Then the big government organizations, National Highway Authorities, railways, oil companies, then should be big financial institutions even. They also keep issuing bonds and debentures regularly to the public, which you can also subscribe and invest some amount in it as well. These are all governmental schemes, which I have just mentioned. And the beauty of these schemes are, there is no risk at all. These are risk-free investment. No risk at all. Whatever government promises you, you will get returned. And when the scheme matures, whatever your mature amount, you will get it. Because that is sovereign guarantee government is giving to you. Return may not be extraordinary in these schemes, but without any risk. So even the reasonable return, and I personally feel that 15 to 20% of our investment should be in governmental small saving schemes. And one more scheme I wish to mention here, that is a very unique scheme of the government of India, but that is only for the girl child. If you have a girl child in your family whose age is below 10, because beyond 10, this account cannot be opened. If you have girl child whose age is below 10, then you should open her account in the name, scheme of Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. A very good scheme of the government of India for the education and marriage of the girl. And this scheme had been especially designed so that girls can get higher education and there is least problem in their marriages as far as money is concerned. And the government of India has promised that in this scheme, government will always give highest interest. And even today, the interest rate in Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana is 7.60%. So please do think of opening a Sukanya Samriddhi if you have, or rather if your relations have, your brother, sister, or some relations have got girls at their home, please do encourage them to open those girls' account in the Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. It can be opened in any bank branch or most of the big post offices as well. Beyond these governmental small saving schemes, there are other investment products available also in the market, but all has got risk. All have got risk. Degree of risk will definitely vary, but all have got risk. And before coming to the second product where we can invest, I just want to tell you one thing. Please don't put all your money in one scheme or one product only. To be a wise investor, you should spread your investment in different schemes. That is technically called developing a basket of investment. Because basket of investment will give you an average of return as well as the risk. So please don't put all your money in one product or one scheme or one category of a scheme even. Try to spend and divide your money in different schemes. Some schemes which have got high risk, some schemes which have got moderate risk, some schemes which have no risk at all, which I have just mentioned, governmental schemes. So the second product where you can invest is real estate or property. And we all know for property, huge investment is required. You can't invest in property by 5 lakh or 10 lakhs. You will have to have 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs, crore, more than that. But property risk is there. How much appreciation property will have? No guarantee at all. Whether would you be able to sell the property when you need the money? Not sure. Acquisition of the property will also have got expenses cost, and maintenance cost of the property is also relatively very high. That is why, Mr. Olu, just wait for 10 minutes. After my session is over, you are welcome to ask any questions you have. So property is a very good proposition, but it has got risk. How much you should invest, I leave it to you. I don't prescribe anything on the property aspect. Third product available in the market is gold, where we can invest. And we Indians are fond of investing, particularly our female members have got passion about purchasing gold as much as we can. That is very natural. So, and Mr. Roy, we don't keep gold as an investment, rather we take it as a safety valve. But historically, we have been investing in gold as well, but that was only through jewelry and biscuits. We would purchase jewelry, we will purchase biscuits. But nowadays, Government of India has started a very good and very unique scheme for acquisition of gold. And that is called sovereign gold bond scheme. It is Government of India scheme, my dear participants. Please do understand. There is no private scheme. I'm talking of Government of India scheme only. Sovereign, SOVEREIGN. Sovereign gold bond scheme. In this scheme, you can invest minimum amount of 1 gram gold price, which government decide for every tranche. Sovereign gold bond scheme, minimum amount of investment is 1 gram gold price and maximum amount is 4 kg gold price. You can invest up to 4 kg gold price, and the price of the gold is announced by the government for every tranche. And the scheme is for 8 years. And government is giving you two benefits. First benefit is government will give you 2.5% interest annually on your deposits, on your investment you have made in sovereign gold bond. 2.5% interest. Second benefit is whatever appreciation in the gold price, because this is for 8 years. Suppose today the gold price is 50,000 10 gram. After 8 years, the gold price becomes 80,000 10 gram. Then government will also repay you 80,000 10 gram gold price, not 50,000. So whatever appreciation in the gold price will also be shared with you, along with 2.5% annual return. And if you remain in the gold, if you remain in the scheme for 8 years, the tax liability will also literally be zero because of indexation benefit, capital gain benefits. So it is a very good scheme. And here again, government will not give you physical gold at all. Government will simply issue a sovereign certificate that Mr. Such and Such or Mrs. Such and Such has this much of gold with us. And you can come out of the scheme after 3-4 years if you wish. But of course, in that scenario, you might have to pay some income, some tax liability as well. But if you remain invested in the scheme for 8 years, then tax liability will be hardly zero. Third and last option available for all of you for investment is share market, securities market. And when I started talking about the share market, there might be some question come in the chat box. Sir, don't talk about the share market. This is sheer speculation. How market goes up, how market goes down, we don't understand. And some of you might have invested on the advice of others or so-called advisors or brokers, and you might have lost some amount or have lost whole money. That is why some of the participants are bent upon not to invest in share market. They are right. Rather, I keep advising in my sessions, my dear participants, share market is purely knowledge-based market. And if you don't have knowledge, never invest your hard-earned savings into security market, because it's purely knowledge-based market. And it requires time as well. So if you don't have knowledge, if you don't have time, please don't invest into share market, at least directly. And directly you can do through IPOs, subscribing IPOs, and purchasing share in secondary market. These are technical things. Next time, if your authorities give me time, we will discuss in detail about the direct investment mode in share market. Second mode is of investing in share market is indirect investing in share market. And that mode name is mutual funds. And nowadays, my dear participants, you will agree with me that most of the youngsters particularly are keen to know about the mutual funds. There is buzz everywhere about the mutual fund investment, particularly among us young fraternity. What is mutual fund? Simply speaking, mutual fund is an indirect way of investing into share market. But again, you should understand, you might not even be knowing, mutual fund is not limited to share market only. It is beyond that as well. Because in mutual fund, there are schemes which will invest your money in government securities even. In mutual fund, there are schemes which will invest your money in gold. In mutual fund, there are schemes which will invest your money in real estate. it is a fact that majority of the scheme in mutual fund relate to security market. Yes, it is a fact. So what is mutual fund and why we should invest? Mutual fund is nothing but a proposition where I am giving my savings to the experts who are technically called fund managers. Naturally, you will ask me why I should give my money. Because I don't have knowledge of the market and they have. They are the experts of the market. Because I don't have time, they have 24 hour. They are professionally engaged in this market. Because I don't have experience and they have huge experience of 10, 15, 20 years in the market. That is why their decision of investment into security market and beyond will be much, much better than my decision. Of course, they can again make mistakes because nobody is master in the security market. But relatively speaking, they are better placed to take an informed decision because they are the experts of the market. That is why we are giving our hard-earned money to them. But the proposition is very clear. Please take my money, which I am investing in a particular scheme. Invest my money within the guidelines of the scheme and generate maximum return for me. So it is not a social service. It is a clear proposition. Take my money, invest my money into market and beyond, and generate return for me, maximum return for me, and give it to me. And there are two types of mutual fund investment categories available. First is regular plan through which we can make, and other one is direct plan. In direct plan, you are simply giving your money directly to the mutual fund company by visiting their website, giving your information online. Everything is given online, including your documents. And you are investing directly without help of any third person. But if you are not able to invest in direct plan because of some technical hitches or the lack of knowledge of computer and IT, then other option for you is investment through regular plan. In regular plan, you will have to take the assistance or help of the mutual fund distributors. Local mutual fund distributors are available everywhere, including in Calcutta. Hundreds of people are working at mutual fund distributor now. You can call them. They will come with the application for a particular scheme. They will get the application filled from your side. They will get your documents. Then they will go and deposit your application and documents and check with the mutual fund company, and your mutual fund investment will start. But for all these services, definitely they will get something, and that will be out of your return or your money. That is why in regular plan, return will always be lower as compared to direct plan, because in direct plan, no third person is there. So NAV of a direct plan in any scheme will always be higher as compared to regular plan. Or rather, I will encourage youngsters particularly to go for direct plan only. Because in that scenario, you will always have higher return. Three broad categories of mutual fund schemes in security market are there. One is equity fund. Equity fund simply means your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporates. Very simple. Risk is greater because share price will always go up and down. So those who can take high risk and those who have time horizon of investment of not less than 5-year minimum should think of investing into equity funds. Risk is high, but reward can also be higher, but no guarantee. Possibility of higher return is there, but there is no guarantee at all. I want to make it very clear to all of you. There is no guarantee in any mutual fund scheme. Probability will vary from scheme to scheme. Second category of mutual fund is debt fund. In debt fund, your money will not be invested into the equity share of the corporate. Please do understand the difference. it will be given as a loan to the corporates. And when a loan is given to the corporate, two things are pre-decided: rate of interest which you will get, and time horizon of investment, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years or more. That is why that fund is suitable for those who don't want to take high risk but are satisfied with the reasonable return. People beyond 50, 55, majority of their investment should be in debt fund only. But those who are below 40, I personally feel they should have 80, 85% exposure in equity funds. But when you cross 60, you should 85% investment should remain in debt fund only, and remaining 10-50% you can have either in equity fund or in some hybrid fund. And hybrid fund simply means some of your money is going to the equity and some of your money is going to the debt. So you are getting benefit of both the equity and debt. At the one end, you are aspiring for little bit higher return, but at the same time, you are managing your risk by investing in debt fund. So hybrid fund is a third category for all of you. Mutual fund is a very big subject. Otherwise, I will take minimum 2 hours to explain the different aspect of the mutual fund. But the unique benefit of mutual fund for a middle class, salary class person, my dear participant, and Dr. Ong Nyong, it is SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. Systematic investment plan is a magic for middle class, salary class person, my dear friends. It works like a magic. And what is SIP? SIP is nothing but regularly investing a particular amount every month. And that most of the middle class, salary class person do with more comfort because we are getting regular salary every month. So out of salary, we can invest some amount, whatever we fix it, and minimum amount of SIP is 500 rupees, maximum amount, no limit at all. Maximum, there is no limit at all. You can invest 10 crore every month. Minimum amount is 5, or I will encourage your students, start an SIP of even 500 rupees out of your pocket money, because since you are not earning today, because that will develop a sense of investing in you. And over a period of 2-3 years, you will be a better investor. So please do start an SIP of even 500 rupees out of your pocket money, even when you are a student. Because that will develop a habit of a discipline of investing every month regularly. And SIP is a magic, my dear friends, in the sense that if you continue with the SIP over a period of 10, 15, 20 years, a magic will happen. You will have huge money at your command after 10, 15 years. But normally what people do, when market goes up, people start investing through SIP as well. And they feel happy that their money is multiplying, increasing every time. But it is not the case in share market, my dear friends. Market will always go up and down. Always. This is the basic character, Mr. Kresil. Market will always go up and down. Sometime market will go up, other time market will go down. But you should not be distracted by the moment of the market at all. You should continue to invest regularly whatever amount you are investing. Forget about the market movement. This is a golden rule I am sharing with all of you. If you keep ignoring the movement of the market and continue with the SIP for 10, 15, 20 years, you will be happily surprised. You will be able to have very good amount. And I just give you one factual example how SIP works in your life. The example are facts, but I am not going to mention the mutual fund and the equity fund and the fund name, because that will be unfair marketing of that AMC, or for that matter, that scheme. But facts are there. It is not a story I am telling you. These are the facts. And the facts are, in 1995, one mutual fund company, which are technically called AMC, started one equity fund in 1995. And Mr. Crisil, I can see Crisil only before me. He was very young at that time. He's still very young. But Mr. Crisil started an investment of SIP of 10,000 rupees per month in that scheme right from 1995. And he has been continuously investing 10,000 every month through SIP. And during this period from 1995 to 2021-22, market might have gone 100 times up and 100 times down. But he simply ignored the movement of the market. He was regularly investing 10,000 rupees every month. And that was the crux of his success. And this is the crux of your investment success in mutual fund. He continuously invested right from 1995 to 2022, every month through SIP 10,000 rupees. And you will be happy to know that now Mr. Crisil has a corpus of 9.57 crore. That's a magic. But my dear participants, it will happen not today, not tomorrow. It will take 15, 20, 25 years. But you should be consistent. You should be regular. You should, because SIP develops a discipline in your life that I will invest this much amount every month, come what may. And if you do it, definitely you will have a huge corpus over a period of time. And nowadays you can step up your SIP. Step up simply means, suppose you started an SIP of 500 rupees today. Next year, right from today, you can give a mandate that it will be 700 rupees. Third year, you can give a mandate even today that it will be 900 rupees. Because every year your income will keep increasing. Please keep increasing your SIPs. And one more feature nowadays, I know a lot of my friends, like Mr. Jawal Islam sir, lot of my friends have started not one SIP, but multiple SIPs, 4, 5, 6 SIPs, and all SIPs are target oriented. One SIP for purchase of house, one SIP, another SIP for going on vacation, third SIP for higher education of the children happening after 25 years, fourth SIP for the marriage of the children, and last SIP for your retirement life. So you can have multiple SIPs, keeping your target-oriented SIPs. So please think of starting SIP and continue with the SIP for a longer period. That will be the crux of your success. Never distract by the movement of the market. One other unique feature in mutual fund, again I repeat, mutual fund is a very, very, very long topic. I can't cover it in 1 hour. It will take minimum 2-3 hours. So next time, when authorities give me time, we will discuss it in detail. Other feature in the mutual fund is SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. I have just discussed about SIP. Now I am discussing about SWP, means systematic withdrawal plan. Systematic withdrawal plan is opposite of SIP. In SIP, I was investing regularly every month. And SIP can be even for monthly, weekly, fortnightly. So I was investing regularly. In SWP, I am withdrawing regularly. And SWP is basically useful when we get retired. When I don't have any income, but I was smart enough to develop a huge corpus of mutual fund for my retirement life. Now I'm going to retire. I wouldn't be having regular income. What I can do, I can simply write a mail or a one-line letter to the mutual fund company where I have corpus, that this much of amount should be transferred from my mutual fund corpus to my bank account every month on 1st. I am giving them a direction that from next month onwards, this amount you can decide, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, whatever it may be. This much of amount should be transferred from my corpus to my bank account every month on first. And they will do it because ultimately your money. But the first benefit I will get is every month on first, I will get a reasonable amount for living life king size, which I was living earlier. And second benefit is whatever amount remains with them after withdrawing a small amount, that amount is being invested and you are continuously to get return on it. So after 10-15 years, suppose you want to increase the amount of withdrawal from 1 lakh to 1.50 lakhs because of inflation, that you can do. Because by that time, you will have earn some huge return on your corpus as well. So SWP is a good proposition for living a retirement life, but for that precondition is there. You have to develop a huge corpus for your retirement life. And that will have to be done when you are active in your life and you are earning. Last two things, of course, I am stopping on mutual fund now. Last two very small but very important things I want to tell all of you, my dear friends. Particularly in West Bengal, I am pained to inform you, and you all know, there are a lot of people who are frauds who are coming with Ponzi scheme, chit fund, and there are big names you are all aware. Sarda, Rose Valley, lot of other names you are all aware. And they are all frauds. Ponzi scheme, chit fund, like that thing which will promise you higher return, doubling your money in a very short period of 3, 4, 5 years, but it is not going to happen at all. So please make it a point in your life that we will never invest our hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. Make it a point, never. Don't think of those propositions at all, because they are frauds. Bluntly, I am using very harsh word for them, because I have dealt in SEBI for 5 years. The pain of the people have suffered for investing in those schemes. But you should not stop here. We have one social responsibility, Mr. Rahman, also. We should inform each and every person we know that they should also not invest in the hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme and chit fund. And particularly those who invest, I know Mr. Rahman will not invest. I know Mr. Shiva Kara will not invest, because we are all educated persons. No, mostly people who are not so educated, your peon, your driver, your milk vendor, your taxi driver, those people normally invest without having any knowledge of those schemes. They invest with the temptation of getting their money doubled in a short period, or getting higher return, which will never happen. So please do educate, please do aware those people, those segment of the people as much as you can. And Mr. Rahman, it is your social responsibility that they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. And if they don't have any knowledge of other schemes of investment, better they should invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. That will do. Simple. They will simply put their money in bank and post offices. At least their money will be safe. And last and most important thing I want to tell all of you, my dear participants, Pratibha ma'am is there, or Priya, I couldn't remember her name.
Yes, Mr. Suryakant, I am there.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Last thing I want to tell all of you, and through you only, prosperity is your right, my dear participants. My dear friends, prosperity is your, every individual should feel like that. Prosperity is my right. Prosperity is not a begging. We should not beg before anybody. It is your right. We all have right to be prosper. My dear friends, some of us might have born into a poor family. That incidentally, it might have happened. That some of us might have born into a poor family. Birth in a poor family is not a curse at all, my dear friends. Ignore it. Forget it. Birth in a poor family is not a curse at all. But living as poor and die as poor is a curse. which we all can avoid it, which we all can avoid, provided we start working sincerely right from the day when we start working on our savings and our investment. And you all do it. This is my this assurance I want from all of you. Thank you very much for giving me time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your immense knowledge with our participants and us. Means it's like an eye opener. We all know we earn, we spend, we invest, but then how to invest and where to invest has always been a question before us. And you had kind of solve it out for us like quite a lot. So, on behalf of International Institute of Lifestyle Management, we would like to honor you with a token of appreciation with a certificate. I would like to share it in the screen. Just a second. And we'll send the certificate to your email ID. This is the token of appreciation.
Thank you very much.
We'll send it.
Ma'am,
your email ID.
my token of appreciation will be more served if you put my session on my recording of my session on your website.
Yes, definitely. We'll put it. We'll take the help of Mr. Sarvaz Ahmed and we'll put it in our YouTube channel as
because
well.
Because more and more people
More
who couldn't
more
join
people
today.
will. Yeah, they will be able to know about it. As many people knows about it, then that will help prosper them, our society, and our country as well. The feedback link is already shared in the description box. I'll request all the participants to fill up the form correctly to get your e-certificate in your mentioned email ID. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you all of us for joining this wonderful session.
And I would be happy if a few questions I can take from the participants. If anybody has some question, just raise their hand and we will unmute him or her. Sonuji, namaskar.
Anybody has any question?
Please raise their hand. Because some hands were raised during my session. And now they are free to ask the question. Yeah. Sujata, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm really a fan of you, sir. Almost I have been listening all the webinars. After no, there is no question. Just only I want to share my feelings with you. After listening all your classes, I started investing in the share market, sir.
Great.
Boldly and frankly, I'm telling. And as well as I have a 3 years of daughter. I want to take Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana. Is it useful for my child, sir? Just I want to
100%. 100%. You have done a right thing.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And one more thing, sir. This feedback link is not opening, sir. Just feedback link is not opening.
Have you tried clicking on the link?
Even all the participants. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are clicking on the link, but we are unable to open it.
Okay, we'll try to sort it out as soon as possible, but only 100 people will receive the certificates today. The next 100 will receive the certificate tomorrow. You can just click on the link and fill up the form.
Thank you.
Tomorrow now, I can fill up now, ma'am?
Yeah. You can fill up the form now only. Please try once again. We are trying to sort it out to refresh it from our end.
Okay, next question. Thank you, Sujata ma'am, for joining this program. Thank you very much. Now, next question from Lavanya.
Good evening, sir. Thanks a lot for the wonderful session. My question is, for debt funds, is it something like if somebody wants to invest for less than 3 years in a short-term horizon, are debt funds more preferable to equity funds?
Yeah, actually, there are two aspects. If you don't want to take more risk, then better you invest in debt fund. But even in debt fund, Lavanya, if you
Yes.
keep invested for more than 3 years, then you will get the benefit of indexation with therein your tax liability will be lowered much. So if you are investing even in debt fund, please keep invested for around more than 3 years. That will be necessary to get the benefit of indexation.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Mohammed.
Sir, actually, I have no question. I just want to thank you for your best advice. And I am also thanking the organizing committee for organizing such a best webinar.
Thank you very much. So nice of you. Mr. Madhan. Mr. Madhan, please unmute yourself. Okay, then we can wind it up.
Yes, sir. I think everybody has got their questions sorted. And thank you so much once again for this wonderful session. I think we can wind up today.
So nice. So, and I wish you all the best to all of you. And I would be very happy to be with you physically as well when I visit Calcutta.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. God bless you
Thank
all.
you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Please have a very good day. Thank you all for participating in this webinar.
Thank you.